My name is Charlie McGrath. I'm the founder of WideAwakeNews.com. I'm the host on the Rinse Radio Network, and I'm also the co-founder of Doomcast. If you're watching this video and you're considering joining the military, I want you to pay very, very, very close attention to what I'm about to say. I want you to think about the things I'm going to say, and I want you to think for yourself. And I want you to think of your future, and I want you to think of your mother, and I want you to think of your father, and I want you to think of the people that you care about. I want you to think of what it would be like to give everything that you are to a cause, to a mission, to an ideal, and then be betrayed and be completely shut out, cast aside, and left as a hunk of human meat that is absolutely meaningless. I want you to think about this hard. And I want you to come to the realization that your life is worth more than a tagline. Your life is worth more than furthering propaganda. My experience has led me to believe that if you commit and give yourself to a government that will deceive you at every turn, that you are going to receive a reward that is betrayal. This is my gift to you. Reality. Okay? It's all I can give is reality. We are fighting a cause that is a lie. We are giving everything that we have for the ones we love when we're serving, for our comrades in the foxhole with us. We're giving it all for a lie. Recently, this Sergeant Bergdahl situation that has come to the forefront has brought me to a place where I don't even know how to respond. I don't know how to report. I don't know how to convey my thoughts on the situation. I don't know how long this video is even going to go. It's not my normal commentary. You have a soldier who, in a time of war, volunteered to go fight that war because, assumingly, he believed in the cause. He believed in the cause and he signed up to fight. Now that takes balls. You know, that takes some severe courage to understand that you're going into a military, this military, and you're going to end up in a combat zone. That isn't something that just happens, okay? That is something that if you understand where you're going, what you're going to be doing, that it takes some courage. You have to reach down to do that. Now, apparently, Private Bergdahl, Corporal Bergdahl, Sergeant Bergdahl, whatever his rank was before they promoted him in captivity, he had apparently, allegedly, we don't know, but it's apparent through comments of his comrades that he walked away. Now, what does that mean? He walked away. He walked away and he looked for something different. Why? Well, you know, the facts are pointing toward, we don't know for sure, but the facts are pointing toward his disillusionment of the mission. You see, there's a lot of people that are in the military, and there's a lot of people that are disillusioned, completely and utterly disillusioned. But there are very few that are willing to act on that disillusionment. They're willing to walk away. They're willing to do something extraordinary on the basis of that disillusionment. It is apparent to me that Bergdahl falls into that category, right, wrong, or otherwise, regardless of what your feelings are on it. He walked away from his post. He ended up in the hands of the alleged enemy. Now, what is the point that you need to consider? What is the fact that is before your eyes isn't the facts that are being given to you by the left and by the right. This is paramount that you pay attention to what I'm about to say. You see, Obama, who I'm not an apologist for, or this administration, who I am not an apologist for, ended up making a trade to get Bergdahl out of captivity. Now, since that has occurred, we have seen a maelstrom of absolute outrage by the right. And we've seen a backpedaling on the left. And this is all on the saving of a human life. A saving of a human life. Regardless if you feel that Bergdahl is a traitor, you feel if he was right in his, or just in his cause. You see, the basic reason for what he did is, to me, understandable. The basic reason that the soldiers that went after him and tried to locate him, and we found now that 6 soldiers die in that pursuit. The basic reason for their capitulation to their orders is understandable to me. What isn't understandable to me, and what is ultimately disgusting to me, and this is the point I want you to carry with you in your decision making going forward, is the reason why he was there in the first place. The reason why his comrades were there in the first place. The reason why the 6 died that go after him. Why they were there in the first place. That isn't being talked about in establishment mainstream media. It isn't being talked about by Washington, D.C. And the most disgusting, heinous, grotesque, repulsive part of this is that this is going to be used to further agenda. Okay? You have the right, who's already setting up. I listened to countless hours this weekend of right-leaning radio that talks about how this is a mistake, that we traded 5 Taliban who were been captive in Gitmo for umpteen years. We released them for we let them go for the release of Bergdahl, and how it was a mistake. Never the counter argument giving of what are we supposed to do? Drone him, kill him, let him sit, let him die, kill him outright because there's rumors and accusations that he's a traitor. This seems to be the prevailing wind from the right, the patriotic right, the America-loving right, the flag-waving right. Right? This seems to be the narrative. What kind of insanity are we talking about here? We're talking about individuals that are sitting in Guantanamo Bay for years and years and years with no representation, with no day in court, with not even really any accusation other than we are told that they were bad guys, period. Is that what we are? Is that who we are? We take people, we throw them in a black hole, and we never hear from them again? Yes, that is who we are. We take American citizens, and we claim them to be rabble-rousers. And we decide that because they're rabble-rousers, and because they're no longer in America, no longer in Denver, Colorado, we're going to drone them. We're going to launch a Hellfire missile and kill them. This is what we do. The right's picking this up and running with it all the way to the midterm elections of 2014. And if you think for 1 second that I'm coming on here on behalf of the left, you couldn't be more wrong. The president, the left, Rice, it disgusts me utterly. This is a political ploy to release somebody and gain some kind of advantage coming up in the midterm elections. 6 men died going after Bergdahl. Bergdahl himself, disillusioned, it's apparent, walked away from his post. But nobody is addressing the question. Nobody is asking the question on why. Why did this occur? Why did it occur? Why did we have men in that position to die? Because we were perpetrating an act that has been portrayed as something heroic and noble and just. And the fact of the matter is, it's none of the above. It's a disgusting display of empirical dominance that has an end result of destabilization of that same exact country that we just rescued Bergdahl from, Afghanistan. What's going to happen in Afghanistan? The exact same thing that's happened there with every empire that just went there to die. Nothing. They're going to go back to Taliban rule. They're going to go back to the same rule of government that they had. And we're going to end up being a footnote. We've been led down a path to destruction. We've experienced that destruction. Thousands of Americans dead. Conservatively speaking, tens of thousands of Afghans dead. And the beat goes on. Nothing changes. Fighting a war on terror, an enemy that is blind, that we are blind to rather, an enemy that we cannot accept their surrender, an enemy that has no nation or no flag, brought to us as what is going to steal your freedom, what is going to end the way of life as you know it. There's no evidence of this. It's all conjecture. So we end up with thousands and thousands of troops over there. One of them, Sergeant Bergdahl, who volunteered thinking he was going over there to help the people of Afghanistan. And when he was disillusioned, he acted on that disillusionment. He walked away. And because of that, the fact that he walked away, soldiers died because they were ordered to go find him. But no one is asking the question, why are we there in the first place? Thousands, maybe tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands, maybe 1 million people have died in the war on terror. We don't question it. We just bow our head. We pretend that we give a crap about the reputation, the integrity of this country, and we move on. It's time to stop capitulating to Washington, D.C., the right and the left. Because regardless of what they've become before the cameras and tell you, regardless of the posturing they have because it's midterm election, they are all complicit in sending your child, you, off to a foreign land to die for a cause that is a lie. Every single nation in the last nearly 2 decades that we have went into to spread democracy, I would beg you to show me an example where it was a success. Because you cannot. Because it hasn't been. Unless that success is to destabilize that nation and to get individuals, both American and foreign nationals, killed. That has been the only success, the shedding of blood. I recently wrote out, so far it's 15 pages, of the condition of our country, the condition of this world. And it began with a list of people that I cared about. Very, very long list of names of individuals that I care deeply for. I care what happens to them. And then I realized that these individuals care for other individuals. You care for other individuals. Yet, we will give ourselves fully, totally, and completely in the name of providing for those individuals or doing the right thing by the ones that we love. Inevitably, we believe that our number one purpose is to care about, provide for, and do the right thing. I believe that right there is the average person listening to this video right now. You care. You care what happens to your mother, your father, your sister, your best friend, your coworker. You care. And you'll do the right thing by them. We are wrapped into a lie, an enigma that continues to propagate. We're wrapped into this notion that if we follow the powers that be, the powers that led us to the condition that we are in right now, that somehow we will be doing the right thing in the name of democracy, freedom, in the name of preventing horrific acts around this world. And in acting upon that agenda, in acting upon that propaganda, we end up inevitably being responsible for the tragedies that are happening on this planet. Sergeant Bergdahl isn't an inhumane individual. Sergeant Bergdahl isn't some kind of criminal because he had a pang of consciousness. No. Sergeant Bergdahl is acting on what millions of members of the military who strapped on that uniform have felt in their service. And namely, the individuals who've served in Afghanistan and in Iraq and in this war on terror. Sergeant Bergdahl decided enough was enough, and he walked in and did what he believed that he needed to do. And because of it, men died. But I don't dwell on the fact that men died trying to find him. I dwell on the fact of why on earth did those men die? Why on earth did Bergdahl decide that enough was enough and walked off and joined the, quote, enemy? Why on earth did he have this pang of conscience that caused him to act so unfortunately? And I understand why. Because the mission over 10 years long, the war on terror since 2001, the never-ending future, which is war in this country. An entire generation grown up watching war because it's maddening. That's why. That's why he did what he did. It's maddening that troops followed orders to go out and locate him and 6 died. It's maddening that we're still seeing casualty reports come in nonstop. It's maddening that we look at a country that we so-called liberated, such as Iraq, and we see hundreds of people dying every week in sectarian violence and complete and utter disablement or disability of that country because of our actions. It's maddening. You don't need me to believe it, right? You don't need to hear this channel or anything that I have to say in order to be convinced of that fact. All you need to do is look at the number of soldiers every single day. Report of 2014 coming out, 22 every single day killing themselves. Bergdahl acted. Most do not. Most do not. They bottle it in. They keep doing what they're doing because they care about the individual next to them. And they come home broken. A broken individual. And 22 a day take it to the ultimate limit where they can't take any more. They can't stomach any more. And they end their own life. We are long past the point of understanding reason. Right? Reason is out the window. All I can give you is truth. The truth. The truth is, it doesn't matter if it's Barack Obama, Mitt Romney, John McCain, George W. Bush, Harry Reid, Nancy Pelosi. It doesn't matter which one of these turncoat individuals comes before the camera. They're going to say whatever they need to say in order to keep continuing to amass power and hold on to that power that they have. It is up to you to realize this, that there is no glorious mission. There is no glorious cause behind what we are doing. We are fighting in the name of a lie, and men and women are dying in the name of a lie, both here, American citizens, and people around the world. We must realize this fact. You must realize this fact. If you're considering putting on that uniform, if you're considering of going off and perpetrating a fraud in the name of a lie, I can't help you any more than give you the truth. The truth is, if you look around, you will see the people that care about you. If you look around, you'll see what's worth fighting for. Nothing else. Nothing else. No one else. Washington, D.C. is not your friend. You're not going off to serve some noble cause. You're going off to do the bidding of corporate special interest. You're going off to do the bidding of the name of individuals who will say anything and do anything and sacrifice anything, including yourself, in order to maintain their position of power and achieve even more power. I implore you, if you're at the age where you're considering donning the uniform in the name of some patriotic cause, make it a patriotic cause that is worth fighting for and worth dying for. And that's the achievement of protection for yourself and your family members and the people you care about, and a return to a constitutional republic, something that has long since vanished into the time of history. Stories are attached. Information's attached. That's all I got.